Hello, Bronco fans and football fans in general. Welcome to Broncos Breakdown on the MHRT Network. This is a show that is everything Broncos and sports news in general. I am your host, Bronco Bill. All right, guys, before I get into the topics, I want to bring you up to date on the shows that are on my channel as well as the MHRT Network. All right, starting on Tuesday, on my channel, it is at Broncos Breakdown on YouTube, and it goes on at 4, 5, 6, and 7. Also on Tuesday on the MHRT Network is the 5280 podcast. Goes live every Tuesday, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And on Wednesday, we have a brand new show. It is called The Wild Wild West. And that's going to feature one fan from each AFC West team: Broncos, Chargers, Raiders, and Chiefs. You guys got to check it out. I know I am. It's going to be exciting. I want to hear the dialogue. I want to hear the thoughts and the bantering back and forth. Then that goes, that's upload, I should say, every 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then on Thursdays, we have the Nothing Rhymes with the Orange and Blue podcast, featuring Johnny Baca and Isaiah. So check that out also on Thursday, 4, 5, 6, and 7. That one's live. And then on Friday, my MHRT Network upload video is switching from Wednesday to Friday. It's still going to be 4, 5, 6, and 7, but it's now on Friday instead of Wednesday. Thanks, guys. I know you're going to enjoy the shows. Check them out. You won't be disappointed. I guarantee it. It's different. Every show's different. So allow yourself some time and check it out. All right, let's get right into the topics. Okay, let's start out with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, the Pittsburgh Steelers are interested in Baker Mayfield. Should he be released by Cleveland? However, the Browns want a first-round pick for Baker. I'm not too sure that I would, if I was Pittsburgh, I'd give up a first round for Baker. I don't think Baker Mayfield is worth a first round for what he's done. Yes, he's a good quarterback. He's a solid quarterback. He's had some struggles in Cleveland, but then who hasn't really? But then again, I'm not too sure that I'd give up a first. Now, Jimmy Garoppolo has been rumored to be in the trade mix. Now, San Francisco claims, John Lynch, the GM, claims that he's not going to trade Garoppolo. But there was an article that I saw that said if Garoppolo were to be on the trade block, the San Francisco 49ers would only be interested in a second round, or maybe a second and third, but at least a second. Now, I think that that's more reasonable. But again, Pittsburgh doesn't have the opportunity for the draft because John Lynch, their GM, has said he is not going to trade Jimmy Garoppolo. So it's either Baker Mayfield in a trade or maybe he gets released. I'm not sure, but that was just interesting news in regards to the Pittsburgh Steelers and Baker Mayfield. All right, let's go to K'Waun Williams. Now, K'Waun Williams faced Russell Wilson twice in the season while he was on the 49ers, but now they are teammates. Williams has signed a 2-year, $7 million contract with the Denver Broncos. Williams will bring his experience at corner in an already very strong defense. I like this. The signing by George Payton. I really do. Our defense is solid. It's strong. But you can never have too many good/great players. Now, I don't know if I would say a K'Waun Williams is a great player, but I would say he's extremely good. Absolutely. And anytime you can get somebody with experience like that, and you have them for backup, or you have them on maybe a dime defense, or whatever design and play they want to put him in. I think it's great that we have depth. And we have players with experience that can always fill in, heaven forbid, a catastrophic injury or anything like that. but just to come in on different defensive play packages. I like this signing very much. All right, now Tyreek Hill. Wow. Now Tyreek Hill has been signed by the Miami Dolphins, and what Miami had to give up was incredible. So let me get to that. The Miami Dolphins have signed Tyreek Hill to a 4-year, $120 million extension, including $72.2 million guaranteed. Now, Kansas City is going to get 3 draft picks this year: a first, a second, and a 4th. Next year, they get a 4th, 5th, and 6th for Tyreek Hill. Holy smokes. Did Miami just mortgage the farm or what? I mean, that's crazy. I mean, let's just say Miami has a great season. Okay, a great season this year. And, well, okay, let me reverse that. Let's say they have a bad season this year, even with Tyreek Hill. And let's say their draft pick is, I don't know, 10 or 11. Kansas City's going to get that draft pick at 10 or 11 in the first, in the second, and in the 3rd round. Holy smokes. Are you kidding me? Let me read that again. Kansas City is going to get 3 draft picks this year: a first, a second, a first, a second, and a 4th. I'm sorry, my mistake, not a 3rd. First, second, and 4th of this year. Okay, that's this year. So it's based on what Miami did last year. Well, Miami wasn't great. So obviously Kansas City's going to have a really good 1st round, 2nd round, and 4th round pick. Wow. And then next year, Kansas City gets a 4th, 5th, and 6th. That's to me, if I was a GM, I wouldn't have done it. I would not have done it. I just don't. I mean, yeah, sure, Tyreek Hill is a great player, but what if he gets injured and goes down? Well, Kansas City's still going to get those picks. Doesn't matter. And you got 72.2 guaranteed. Well, all of this was created and all of this was started because of Davante Adams. Absolutely. When Davante Adams got that money, Tyreek Hill said, I'm better than Davante Adams. I want the same money or more. Well, that's what sports and the NFL has become, guys. It's become a greedy place. I understand they get injured. I understand that that's their livelihood and they're entitled to try and get as much money as they can. But wow, when's the ceiling going to end? When's all this escalation going to stop? I don't foresee it in the near future. I really don't. I think it's just going to keep going up and up and up because people are willing to pay it. And that's the bottom line. If you're willing to pay for something or someone's experience and their talent, then I guess you're worth it. Well, we'll find out. I'm just glad Tyreek Hill is out of the league. Not out of the league. I'm sorry, out of the AFC West. It obviously helps Denver. And I'll get to that part of the story, which ties into Kansas City as well as those draft picks. And that is this. Former Packers wide receiver Marquez ValdesTechnical signed a 3-year, $30 million contract. Now, Tyreek has gone to the Dolphins, so Kansas City hopes to fill some of that gap with Marquez. Now, Marquez will receive $18 million in the first 2 years combined and incentives that could make the deal worth $36 million or more. So they couldn't make a deal with Tyreek Hill. He goes to the Dolphins. And then Kansas City brings in Marquez ValdesTechnical. And they hope to kind of bridge the gap. Well, you're going to need a big bridge, man, because Tyreek Hill is head and shoulders way over Marquez ValdesTechnical. Easily. There's not too many people in the league, players in the league, that can even come close to a Tyreek Hill. But Kansas City felt they had to do something. They had to try and shore up a little bit. They had to make a move. Well, I would not say that it was a bad move. I'm not saying that. What I am saying, though, is Marquez is no Tyreek Hill. That's absolutely concrete, etched in stone. He is not a Tyreek Hill. But like I said, Kansas City had to do something because the Chargers, the Broncos, and the Raiders are making major moves. And Kansas City is being left behind, which to me, it's a great thing. I love it. I love the fact that Kansas City is going backwards. Okay, let's go to Deshaun Watson. Now, the Texas grand jury, there's a second Texas grand jury was considering criminal charges against Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson. The first one, of course, threw it out. The second one said, okay, we're going to pick it up and we're going to see if there's any more evidence. Well, they've dropped the charges because they couldn't find enough evidence to charge him with the second grand jury. However, Deshaun Watson still faces 22 civil lawsuits. Now, if you're the Cleveland Browns and you just gave this guy $240 million guaranteed to be your quarterback, with this big dark cloud hanging over his head with 22 civil lawsuits pending. If I was a GM, I would not have done it. Absolutely not. Because now, if those civil lawsuits go into effect and they charge him, guess what? He's not going to be able to play because he's going to have repercussions of those civil lawsuits with the NFL. You know, the old thing called, detrimental to the team, detrimental to the league. Well, this is both. This is detrimental to the team and to the league. But why would Cleveland just absolutely give this guy the world guaranteed? Well, Deshaun Watson's one happy guy, that's for sure. Well, at least until civil lawsuits, if that takes effect. But Cleveland shelling out that kind of money without any possible assurance that he's going to be able to play. There's no assurance, none whatsoever, that he's going to be guaranteed to play. Wow. I definitely would not have done that. And thank goodness George Payton didn't do it. Because I'll tell you what, in my opinion, that was an extreme gamble. Absolutely. That was like putting in all your chips on a blackjack table when you only have, one pair. I don't know. But Cleveland went ahead and did it. And wow. All I can say is wow. Because I certainly would not have done it. All right. Let me go to some sad news. Sad news in the NFL world. Wayne Mackey, a longtime NFL official, has passed away at a tender age, I might say, at the age of 62. He spent 10 seasons as an NFL official, and he was a head linesman in Super Bowl 50. The Super Bowl, the Broncos beat Carolina. The officiating office has shared these words, and I quote, "He was the kindest, nicest, most genuine individual any of us have ever known." End quote. Being a linesman, even a head linesman, you don't really see them on the field that often. Obviously, they don't. The NFL announcers during the games don't mention their name. They only really mention the head officiator, the head referee. But anyways, he was the head linesman at Super Bowl 50. Like I mentioned, the ones that Denver Broncos won, the last one that they won. And he has passed away at the age of 62. Rest in peace, Wayne. Thanks for being there. Thanks for what you did. All right. Now, the Minnesota Vikings have picked the Packers cornerback Camden Sullivan to join their team. The terms of the contract were not made available. He spent the last 3 seasons on Green Bay and played in 49 regular season games. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because it involves Green Bay. Now, Aaron Rodgers signed back a larger contract, but then Davante Adams goes to the Raiders, and we have Hackett as our head coach. So Green Bay is going downhill fast, but that just makes the NFC North that much more competitive. It brings the Vikings into play. It drops the Packers down a bit, and it also brings the Bears into play. Not too sure about the Lions, but maybe they have a long shot. But I find it interesting that Aaron Rodgers signs and then Green Bay gets rid of a lot of people, a lot of players, coaches. And man, I'll tell you what, I couldn't be a happier guy to know that Aaron Rodgers is, pretty much getting stuck. And I find that interesting because in a way, Green Bay has the last laugh. That's for sure. But, that's the NFL. The NFL is a give and take league. It's a rebuild league. And so the Packers got knocked down a bit when they sent, or I should say, Chandler Sullivan signed with the Minnesota Vikings. Okay. Now, I'm going to turn your attention to Mile High Stadium, or what it was Mile High Stadium, in Power Field at Mile High. Now, Power Field at Mile High on March, it was last week, it was like March 24th. March 24th in Power Field at Mile High caught on fire. It was in a construction zone, and I'm going to read a little bit of excerpts from an article that was released about the fire. Okay? The article in the headline says this: the Broncos say it will be a real challenge to repair fire damage at the stadium by September's opening game. Here's the damage the fire caused. In Power Field at Mile High Stadium caught fire last week, the 24th of March, and damaged a couple hundred seats, along with 12 luxury suites. 12 luxury suites. Now, the fire was on the east side, section 333, on the seats. But fire rises, people. Heat rises. And I'll get into some issues as to why they don't know if it's going to be open and ready, or the stadium will be open. They don't know if that section will be completed and finished by the September opener. Reason why there were 12 suites that had damage was because a fire was below them. They had smoke damage. The sprinklers went on. They've got water damage. But that's not, I wouldn't say minor, but that's, it's significant, but there's something more important as to why it might not be ready. Here we go. Ellis added that it will be a real challenge for the team to be able to get the damaged area done, like I mentioned, by the start in September. What makes the repairs more complicated is due to the steel risers that are used in the stadium. The heat from the fire caused those risers to buckle. We'll have to refabricate those steel risers in those particular sections because the way the seating is constructed and contoured, it will take some time to get those replaced, and they must be replaced. Now, guys, that's important. That is extremely important. You have a section right above this fire damage that has steel beams or steel risers that buckled from the weight of the level above. Now, those things buckle. Let's say they don't get them fixed. Well, of course, they're going to. I'm just saying retrospect. Or I'm just saying in what if. If they were not deemed to need to be replaced, but they had damage. And with the Rocky Mountain Thunder that the fans provide with their feet, and they're banging on the chairs and this and that and everything else, and in those suites jumping up and down, what if those risers gave way and the people below would be crushed? I mean, you've got to replace them, regardless how long it takes. It has to be done. And that's why Ellis was saying, along with the Bronco brass, that it may not, that section, that area, those 12 suites, those hundreds of seats down below may not be ready to be occupied by that time the season starts in September. I continue. The Denver Bronco Fire Department noted that the fire, which started in the East Club Lounge construction area, was accidental. There were also no injuries due to the fire. Everything worked the way it was supposed to in the terms of our sprinkler system, but fumes from these seats burning were incredibly toxic, and it would have been significant for people had they been subjected to those fumes. But they weren't, because there was nothing going on. There was a tour that was taking place, but that was on the that tour was on the west side, completely opposite of where the fire damage was. So thank goodness that nobody was injured and nobody had some toxic fumes that they inhaled. That was great. Now here's the thing. Think about this, guys. The stadium holds 76,200 and something, I believe, 276. Something along those lines. I know it's 76,000. Okay, you take away a couple hundred seats. Okay, that may not be much. What about the concessions in that area? Were they damaged? Possibly. They're in the area. So now that's damaged. And now you have the suites above, 12 suites above that are always occupied during the games. That revenue's gone. Those tickets are gone. The money spent on concessions or merchandise or whatever in those areas are going to be gone. Now, is it going to be long-term into the season? We don't know. We don't know the extent of the damage of those steel risers. We don't know the cost of repairing those seats and redoing the metal structure that the seats sit on, or the damage to the railing as they go, up the stairs and down. There's a lot of parameters. What about the Ring of Fame above? Those got smoke damage for sure. There's a lot of things, guys, that need to be repaired, and we're almost entering the month of April. So that just gives us April, May, June, July, and August. 5 months. Well, I'm sorry, April. Yes, April, May, June, July, August. 5 months to get it ready by September. They would have to work around the clock, 24/7, rain, shine, snow, sleet, whatever, to get it done. I still don't think they could get it done. I really don't. I think it might even go into late September, October. Now you're getting back into the winter months. Sprinkler system was damaged. Electrical system was damaged. How about Wi-Fi? How about internet? How about cables that supply the TVs in the suites or in the concourse area? Who knows? We don't know at this time, and still until they start removing things that they need to get to. So, guys, a lot of jokes have been going around about jokes in regards to who started or anything. I'm not even going to reveal any of those jokes, even though I heard them. I don't think it's appropriate because this is obviously a serious situation in the sense that they have to make this absolutely 100% safe for those in section 333 in the seating section, as well as the suite and concourse and everywhere else in that area. They have to make sure it's 100% safe. So you guys can think of jokes yourself. I'm not going to go down that road. Anyways, I move on. All right, let's go to John Fox. Now, former Broncos head coach has been fired by the Indianapolis Colts. Has been hired. Let me repeat that. All right. I was thinking of something else that I've got to end with. John Fox, former Broncos head coach, has been hired by the Indianapolis Colts. He will be the senior defensive assistant. He brings experience as well as his defensive mind. This comes on the heels of the Matt Ryan trade, as well as Reggie Wayne as their receivers coach. Indianapolis Colts guys are all beefing up. Everybody in the AFC seems to be beefing up. We don't necessarily need to chase down New England anymore. So there has to be a new team that everybody reaches to aspire. That has lately been the Kansas City Chiefs, with the Chiefs reeling with some of their players that have left, and just the disarray, but the downsizing, I guess, for lack of a better term. Broncos, Chargers, Raiders beefing up. Now you've got Indy beefing up. Cincinnati, obviously, AFC champions. So you have all of these different clubs trying to overtake Kansas City and Cincinnati, the two 1 and 1A powerhouses right now in the AFC West, or AFC. AFC West is doing their best to try and beef up. Now Indy's trying to do theirs. So I found that quite interesting that John Fox is coming back to be on the sideline, so to speak, as a senior defensive assistant. All right, let's go to that's what I was looking for, guys. Let's go to the Buffalo Bills. Now, the Buffalo Bills have announced that a 30-year deal for a new $1.4 billion stadium in Orchard Park, New York, is underway. It will begin groundbreaking in this spring. It will be an open stadium holding 62,000 seats and will be completed around the middle of 2026. Okay, it's a 4-year project, obviously. You've got to, any stadium takes time to build. But here's my point. Okay? The stadium they have now in Orchard Park, New York, the same area, is an outdoor stadium. It's not a dome. It doesn't have a roof. It's outdoor. And they want to build another one, $1.4 billion. Again, not a dome. Now, I understand that a team wants to have a home field advantage. Like in Denver, it's the altitude. In Minnesota, they wanted a dome. And in LA, in SoFi Stadium, they wanted a dome, but it's out of glass, so they can see out and they can, feel like they're outdoors when in reality they're not. But Orchard Park, New York, where it snows like every day, I'm just kidding, guys, I know, but it's an outdoor stadium. It's an open stadium, I should say. Of course, it's outdoors, but it's an open stadium. And apparently, the Buffalo Bills organization feels that they have a better advantage because they play there 8 times a year, and they feel that they have a better advantage for a team coming in that's only playing one game that day, 3 hours, 3.5 hours, 4 hours, whatever. So they feel that they have a significant advantage because they're more used to the elements, just like the Broncos are more used to the altitude. Makes a lot of sense. Absolutely it does. But I just found it interesting that a brand new stadium in a very cold, damp, snowy environment would not have a dome. I think it's great. More power to them. Absolutely more power to them. Von Miller's just going to have to get used to cold, much colder than Colorado, I would think. So maybe he was hoping for a dome. Sorry, Von, you didn't get it. Sorry about that. All right, let's end this show on a funny note. It's typical Peyton Manning. Here it is. Now, when Tom Brady, quote, retired, close rival and friend Peyton Manning sent Tom a handwritten note and a bottle of wine. Now, Peyton Manning jokingly says, I want my gifts that I gave him. I want my letter and I want my bottle of wine back. You didn't retire. It's kind of like breaking an engagement. You don't get to keep the ring. You have to give the ring back. Well, unless the guy's stupid. But anyways, you get the ring back. It's a broken engagement. Didn't happen. It's not going to happen. Well, engagement-wise part. I'm talking about with Tom Brady. It didn't happen. So Peyton Manning says, hey, I want my letter back. Everything I said in there is for when you're retired, but you're not retired. So I want my letter back, and oh, by the way, I want my bottle of wine back. I could just see Tom Brady. I don't know for sure. This part of the article didn't come out, but I could just see Tom Brady holding up the letter and going, hey, I guess I still got it, and then holding up an empty bottle of wine that Peyton Manning sent him and said, hey, thanks a lot, man. That was great. I really appreciated my retirement for 40 days or 20 days or however long it was. Seemed like 20 minutes to the NFL world. But anyways, I thought that was quite Peyton Manning-esque. And it's good to see Peyton Manning and Tom Brady being able to joke around because they were extreme rivals, both Manning in Indy and Tom in New England. And, of course, Peyton Manning in Denver and Tom Brady in New England. It was a great rival. And it's great to see them as really good friends, having fun with joking around with Tom's supposed retirement. But I'd like to see that. I like to see good camaraderie and good sportsmanship, and that was great to see. All right, guys, that's it. That's all I have. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and remember to tune in on Tuesday, my channel. YouTube channel, Broncos Breakdown, hosted by me, Bronco Bill, every Tuesday, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Also on Tuesday is the MHRT show called 5280. It's a great show. You'll love it. And that goes live every Tuesday, 4, 5, 6, and 7. On Wednesday, like I mentioned, our brand new show on the MHRT Network is called Wild Wild West, and it's going to feature a fan from each AFC West team, Chargers, Raiders, Broncos, and Chiefs. Then that airs uploaded every Wednesday, 4, 5, 6, and 7. On Thursday, we have Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast, hosted by Johnny Mackey and his great friend Isaiah. That's live every Thursday, 4, 5, 6, and 7 on the MHRT Network. And then on Friday, I move Broncos Breakdown on MHRT Network moves from Wednesday to Friday, and it will be uploaded and ready for your viewing at 4, 5, 6, and 7. Thanks again, guys, for watching. Thanks for subscribing. We will talk to you next Tuesday, and we'll see you on Friday as well on MHRT Network. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.